Oh my god. It's been forever since I did one of these. Shut the fuck up. I'll be doing a deck profile for you, Devin. You motherfucker. I got bored, and you probably don't even know what deck you want to play, but if you ever get interested in the deck I'm playing, which is Salamangreat, I'm going to go ahead and show you a profile. I have music on to fucking make sure that I am a little bit more focused. And I am not drunk, shockingly. Well, for the deck, you want to play... Fuck. Three Salamangreat Gazelle. What this card does is... pardon me, when a Salamangreat monster is sent to the graveyard, and I will hint heavily at sent to the graveyard, not from field or from deck or whatever to graveyard. When a Salamangreat is sent to graveyard, you can special summon this card from your hand. So it's a free special summon, because what you do in this deck is you link away a lot, and you get to summon out this card out for free. Unless your opponent has a way to stop that, which would suck. Sorry, my arm just had a little fucking spaz attack. Don't know what the hell happened there. Oh yeah, and also, when this card is summoned, well, normal or special summoned, pardon me again, oh my god, normal or special summoned, you can send a Salamangreat card to the graveyard. And that's actually pretty good, because you can send a card like Spinny or any Salamangreat that you see fit for that situation. So yeah. This is actually probably the best card in the deck. That was Salamangreat Gazelle. Next up on the list, you want to play 3 Salamangreat Spinny. Pardon me again. Spinny's actually pretty good too. You can discard this card while you control a Salamangreat monster. You can discard this card. Target one face-up monster on the field. It gains 500 attack. So you can target either your opponents or yourself or one of your own monsters. Sorry, my arm's fucking spazzing out again. And it'll gain 500. And while this card's in the graveyard, while you control a Salamangreat monster, you can special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. So it's practically another free summon, just as long as you have a Salamangreat monster on field. Blark. Next up, we got 3 Salamangreat Foxy. This card is actually really good in the deck as well. What this card does, oh shit, veering off to the right. What this card does is, you get to look at the top 3 cards of your deck. I mean, when this card is normal summoned. When this card is normal summoned, you get to look at the top 3 cards of your deck. I don't know why I keep on veering off to the right, but fuck my autism, I guess. Look at the top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 Salamangreat monster of those 3. If it's none of those, you just get this shuffle back. It's called a whiff. But it's always good to add a Salamangreat to hand. And when this card is in the graveyard, discard 1 card, target 1 face-up spell or trap card on the field, special summon this card, and then destroy that targeted card. So it's not really a free summon, but it's back row or even field spell removal, which helps out a lot still. because you don't really mind putting Salamangreats to grave depending on what they are, because you can usually summon them back from graveyard in whatever way they can anyway. Or if they get sent to the graveyard, there are benefits. This card is actually really good. If you brick, you have, and you draw into this, you still have a chance to get into key cards that you need to go into the combo. Or now we're off to the ones. One of Salamangreats. Play one Salamangreat Jack Jaguar, one Salamangreat Fowl, one Salamangreat Falco. These cards you want to play at one, but if you're feeling a little kinky, you can play this at two, which I really wouldn't argue. But if you have deck space, play it. What this card does is if this monster attacks a, I never really do the first effect. It's mainly the second effect, which is what's known for, but it's nice to know both effects. When this card attacks a monster in defense, it inflicts piercing, which is like, oh, I'm going to deal damage to you. Fuck off. And its second effect, which is actually the main reason why you play this, is, pardon me again, if you control a Salamangreat Link monster, well, you kind of have to have one while you're playing this card. If you have a Salamangreat Link monster in the field, you can shuffle one Salamangreat card back into the deck and special summon this card out to where the Salamangreat Link monster points to, which actually helps out a lot, because that's either gonna activate an effect or just extra link material. Either way, this card is really good, but you only want to play at one. If you see it in hand, just hope to God that you don't brick. Now, Salamangreat Fowl. Why I love this card, it's also because it's another free special summon. When a Salamangreat monster is summoned, well, normal or special summoned, you can special summon this card from your hand. And, pardon me, oh my god, I'm sorry. And, trying to remember the other effect. I just had it. Okay. You can discard one card, target one face down spell or trap card, I believe either on the field or on your opponent's side of the field, and yes, it does matter. Wording does count in this game. They cannot activate that card. It's pretty cool. It's pretty much like, hey, nut up or shut up, or it's trying to, what this card does is pretty much free special summon. This card cannot play, but they have the option to, I would say, either activate it, because they would have to have a reaction. If they don't have a reaction to it, they will not flip the card. The card will stay face down for the rest of the turn, and they will not be able to activate it. And that's why I pretty much play this card. I'd play the card regardless because it's a free special summon. Falco is interesting, pardon me, and this card can help me combo off really hard depending on situation. But what this card is mainly used is its first effect. If this card is sent to the graveyard, keyword sent, not from field or from deck or hand to grave, but sent from field to graveyard, you can set one Salamangreat spell or trap to the field. May not sound very much, but that's actually broken as fuck, as far as I'm aware of. And while this card is in the graveyard, and so you know, you can only activate one effect each turn, or else the deck would be tier 0 and all of these cards would be fucking secret rares, which is going to be like probably about hundreds of dollars. And its the second effect is target one Salamangreat Great, I believe, monster on the field, add it back to hand, and if you do, special summon this card. Kind of helps. And you will be we're going off to non-Salamangreat Great monsters. You're playing the One Lady Debug. This card was at 3, but banlist happened. Now it's at 1. Rip my girl. Pardon me. When this card is summoned, you can add a level 3 or lower Cyberse monster from your deck to your hand. You can only activate this effect of Lady Debug once per turn. This card is actually pretty good because all of these Salamangreat Great monsters are Cyberse. And she was pretty much the reason why the deck was going to be really broken. And she's also a Cyberse, so you can link away with her for other Cyberse monsters that say Cyberse. And then we're off to the free special summons again. Play one Psychic Wielder and one Psychic Tracker. They both have the first same effect. I don't really care about the rest of Psychic Wielder's effect. All I cared about was his first, which is if you have a level 3 monster on board, you can special summon this card, which is like really easy. You just go, oh, level 3, summon. That's pretty much the point to it. Same thing with the other card. They're pretty much the same. And then here's Reclusia and Backup Secretary. I really like playing Reclusia because it's also a free special summon. And what this card states, you can special summon this card from your hand to where a Link monster points to. And here's its other effect. Pardon me. You can target one Crusadia, which you can target itself, and one card your opponent controls, destroy them both. So you can either special summon this card for free and use it as Link material, or special summon this card for free and pretty much get a free destruction out of it. Pardon me. Meaning, pretty much get a free destruction out of it because you summon this card for free, but the only backlash is you have to get rid of this card. But hey, it's still a pretty good card. Backup Secretary is pretty much the same thing as the Wielder and the Tracker, whatever the other one is. I never paid attention to its name. Backup Secretary, if you control a level 3 or lower... Wait, no, my bad. I read the card wrong. If you control a Cyberse monster, just as long as it's a Cyberse monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. But you can only summon one Backup Secretary per turn, but yeah, that's why you only play one in Starfoil. Now, on to the hand traps, which I only have 3 of. 3 Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, ultra rare. I am proud to own these, even though they're kind of cheap. But if you get them in the, structure deck, there should be common Ash Blossoms in there, so you don't have to worry. This card is actually pretty boss. It's practically one of the best cards in the game because it just says, shut up. Pardon me. You can discard this card when your opponent sends the graveyard, specials from graveyard. If I'm reading that, if I remember right. Yeah, specials from graveyard or sends from deck to graveyard. So yeah, this card just says, shut up. And plus, it's also a fire monster. So, if you... Oh my god, I'm sorry. If, this card is a fire monster, and that's really important for this deck. Blorp. Now on to the spells. Woo! A lot of people have only been playing one of this card because of Falco, but I like to play it safe, so I played 2 Salamangreat Sanctuary, and you only play this card for its first effect. You can link away a Salamangreat monster just by using that link Salamangreat monster. If I'm saying that correctly, like what I'm trying to say is, if you already have a Salamangreat monster on board. Sorry, I keep on veering off to the left because I'm trying to figure out how to explain this. If you have a Salamangreat monster on board, Link monster on board, I'm sorry, you can pretty much link away that Salamangreat monster for the exact same Salamangreat monster. It doesn't make very much sense, but a lot of the but a lot of the Salamangreat Link monsters have effects when they have the same Link monster used as their material. I hope I explained that the best I could. But this card is the reason why you're able to play Salamangreat the way you can. So yeah, 2 of the field spell. Flort. I play 3 Salamangreat Circle. All this card does is searches out for Salamangreat monsters. And let me see here. If you control I'm just gonna call it relinked Salamangreat monster, you can flip this card and make that card, and I believe make that card unaffected by monster effects, if I'm reading correct. Yep, by monster effects. So you can search for any Salamangreat monster in your deck, and no, not extra deck. And then we go on to your other search card. 3 Silent Mining. This card is actually broken in this deck because of what you can do. This card says, send 1 card from your hand to graveyard, add 1 level 4 or lower Cyberus monster from your deck to your hand. You can only activate 1 Silent Mining per turn. This card is actually really broken in this deck because the way on how Gazelle works. I'm not shitting you. The way on how Gazelle works. You can send a Salamangreat monster from hand, add Gazelle. This card resolves, activate Gazelle, free special summon, and then you get to play off from there. But that's pretty much the reason why you play this card. Boop. And oh my god, I love this card so much. I troll hard with this card. Pardon me. Will of the Salamangreat. This card says, during your main phase, you can special summon 1 Salamangreat monster from your hand or graveyard. And then the other effect is, you can send this face-up card from the field to the graveyard, then target 1 Salamangreat Link monster you control that was Link summoned using a monster with its same name as material. Special summon Salamangreat monsters from the hand or graveyard in defense position up to the number of that monster's Link rating. You can only activate 1 Salamangreat once per turn, and that's it. This card is unbelievable because if you had a Salamangreat monster with a Link rating of 2, you can, you have to special summon out in defense if you want to use the second effect. Shut the fuck up, toilet, I'm talking. Pissing at me, you little shit. Yeah, this card can get you out of heavy shit, which is why I love playing at 2. People have been playing at 1 or just dropping the card. In general, I don't know why. I love this card. This card will help you win games or take more control of a situation. And the glare is very annoying. Fuck off. So if your Link monster had let's just say a Link rating 2, which is a number as I'll show you in a bit. It has a Link rating of 2. You could summon out 2 monsters for free just by sending this card. Well, not really for free, but you have to send this card to the graveyard. But luckily, there are card effects that will be able to get this card either back to your hand or back to the field, so you don't have to worry. Now we're on to the Fusion card. Fusion of Fire. This card is always treated as a Salamangreat monster. And what you usually want to do with this card... Oh my god. I keep on looking away and keep on veering off. I'm sorry. Easily distracted. Leave me alone. What you want to do with this card is you want to use one of your Salamangreat monsters. Either your Link Salamangreat monster or your opponent's Link monsters to summon out a big boy. I'll be showing you in a bit. And this card will help you win games. It's how you perform the OTK route, or if you decide to play a long game or it goes to a long game, you can rely on this card just to bust you out. Card is great, and you can usually expect a win from it. This is a card that I just started play testing. I play it at 1 because I think I only see it to be played at 1. Because you have to target 2 Salamangreat monsters in your graveyard, add them to hand. Well, 2 Salamangreat monsters, different names, add them to hand. If this set card is destroyed by a card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can add 1 Salamangreat spell or trap card from your deck to your hand, except Salamangreat Recurrence. Yeah, you only activate each effect once per turn. This card actually looks pretty neat. So yeah, I would play this at 1. Play the 1 Foolish Burial, because if you have a way to trigger off Gazelle while it's in hand or need something engraved, play it. 3 Called by the Grave. This card is what says fuck off to Ash Blossom. Target 1 monster in your opponent's graveyard. That monster is banished, and for the rest of the turn they can neither activate nor play that card. Well, pretty much neither activate nor summon the card. So you banish Ash. Well, you try to search or do whatever with Salamangreat. They try to Ash Blossom you. You play this in response, banish the Ash Blossom, fucks with their effect. Card is cool. Play the 1 Pot of Desires. This card, I just play it in here just for the draw. And with the thing about Salamangreats is you can bounce back, but this is just the deck thin and draw 2. Pardon me. Banish 10 cards from the top of your deck and draw 2 cards. That's pretty much it. Now we're on to the 3 traps of the deck. 1 Salamangreat Rage, and 2 Salamangreat Roar. Sorry, I have to keep on moving the cameras because of the fucking glare. Go away! Don't like you. I really like Roar. This Roar says if you control a Salamangreat Link monster and your opponent tries activating a card effect, monster effect, whatever effect, you can flip this card and negate, and just to negate and destroy. And when you have a re-linked Salamangreat Link monster on board and this card is in the graveyard, you can just set it back down. But when the card leaves the field, just like Salamangreat Spinny, it is banished. Salamangreat Rage can help you win games. What this card says is, you can activate this card just as long as you control a Salamangreat, which shouldn't be that hard. Just as long as you control a Salamangreat, you can target one Salamangreat monster on the field, send it to graveyard, destroy one card in the field, but you mainly want to play this for its second effect. Its second effect is so good. Target one Salamangreat Link monster, well, that has been relink summoned, and destroy up to that many, with a certain link rating. Like, you mainly want to have either 2, with a link rating of 2 on board, so you can destroy up to 2 cards for practically free. That's why you use this as board destruction, and hopefully be able to stop your opponent's plays. And now we're going to be going on to the extra deck. We're play one of the fusion, the big boy is what I call him, Salamangreat Violet Chimera. When this card is fusion summoned, this card can only be fusion summoned by using a Salamangreat monster and a Link monster. But this card is very special because you gain half the attack points of each monster. So let's just say that you use a Salamangreat monster that has 2,000 attack and a Salamangreat monster that has also 2,000 attack. This monster will be gaining 1,000 each from each monster. So this is also gaining 2,000 attack. And this is a big boy, 2,800. So this monster would be at 4,800. And when this card battles a card that has its attack different, like just changed, doesn't matter. Like just as long as the attack is changed during damage calculation or whatever, this card attack becomes double. I'm not kidding. So you'll be taking that 48 times 2 is 96. Your opponent will take a lot of damage. Let's just say that their monster is 0. They're taking that immediate 9,600 damage and OTK them, which means 1 turn kill. Yeah, fuck your opponent. Put you over there. I play 2 Salamangreat Mirage Stalio. This card is also a key component. Fuck you, Glare. Is a key component in this deck. All it requires is 2 level 3 monsters. That's why I play so many level 3s. Is so I can get into him. Or I just have extra link materials. You can discard, not discard, I'm sorry. You can detach one card from this, special summon out as Salamangreat in defense position. And that's it. That's pretty much all you need to know about the first effect. The second effect is actually also decent. If you were to link summon into a Salamangreat Link monster, bounce 1 monster, I believe. 1 monster, I believe. I'm too lazy to read. From field back to their hand. So you can just like bounce back an annoying card back to their hand or extra deck. Because fuck your opponent. You're playing Salamangreat. You play one Baguska. What pretty much Baguska is, what you mainly use him for is the defense position thing. All he requires is 2 level 4s, and when he is in the defense position, no monster effects can be activated. I'm not shitting. No monster effects can be activated. And also when your opponent summons monsters, they have to go into defense, and that's why they cannot activate their effects, because this card strictly states monsters in defense position cannot activate their effects. That's what makes the card so great. Oh, whatever. Next up on the list is 3 Salamangreat Banelinks. Your terraforming of the deck, aka searcher for your field spell, which is Salamangreat Great Sanctuary. All this card does is search out for Sanctuary. It's a link 1 and another key piece to your combo. And when this card is in the graveyard, your opponent tries to destroy a Salamangreat Great monster. You can banish it from your graveyard, and that card is protected. So yeah, playing through this card is actually really good. And plus, it's also wheelchair chat, and I love it. Wheelchair cat. Fuck. Tired. You also want to play 3 of the Salamangreat Sunlight Wolf. Oh yeah, this number right here. Oh shit! You better focus. This little number right here, the 2. That's a link rating, and link rating pretty much means how many monsters that is actually acquired. And right there it says 2 fire monsters are needed to summon this guy. And then there's a little bit of trickier one down the road, but it'll be fine. What this card states is when a card is summoned to where this card points to, you get to add a fire monster, like Ash Blossom, back to your hand. Card is fucking great. I don't know why I decided to hit thumbs up, but fuck it. Good card. Card's great. Pardon me. Alright, also, when this card is relink summoned, by you, pretty much relink summon is pretty much, if I have a Sunlight Wolf, I can just make that one go fuck off to summon out another one. When this card is relink summoned, you get to add 1 Salamangreat Great Spell or Trap card from your graveyard to your hand. That's actually pretty good too, and it's also a link 2. And yes, you can also activate the first effect during your opponent's turn, because it's just as long as a monster was summoned to where the card points to, and it's only a once per turn effect. Next up, we play 1 Hida, the Hida, the Fire Charmer Ablaze. You mainly want to use her for her Snatch the Ash Blossom from your opponent's graveyard effect. In case if that Ash Blossom does go through, you should be able to link into her, steal your opponent's Ash Blossom, and then be able to continue to play from there. That's pretty much why you only play this card. One update, Jammer. So far as I remember, what this card does is this card gives your monster better attack, something like that. I don't feel like reading this card because I'm only like 33 minutes in. I don't know how the hell Team Sam does this, or anyone. I play 2 Salamangreat Great Heat Leo. This card is actually really good. When this card is link summoned, you can target one spell or trap card on your opponent's field. I believe the card has to be set. I cannot remember. And shuffle that card back in the deck. And this is a link 3. As where Banelinks is just a link 1, aka Wheelchair Cat. And I love the art style of this card. It looks pretty cool. And when this card is relink summoned, and you're gonna love this card effect because it goes so well with the fusion monster. When this card is relink summoned, you get target that monster and target one monster in your graveyard. I believe it has to be fire or whatever. It doesn't matter. Actually, kind of does, but whatever. Make your opponent's monster the same amount of attack as that monster in your graveyard. So if you had Ash Blossom in the graveyard and you had your opponent's monster was 4,000, summon out this bad boy. Make that 4,000 beat stick become 0 because you'd be targeting Ash. And then you summon out Big Boy Violet Chimera and then you run the fuck over him and then go for game. pretty much what Heatley is used for. He's also a 2300 beat stick if you ever need them. And here are the last two cards of the extra deck. Boi Devin and Mech-Knight Crusadia Avermax. And these are Link 4s, which mean it takes 4 monsters. Well, 4 to 3. When this card says 3 effect monsters, you need 3 cards that have effects. But just as long as you're able to get the 4, it doesn't really matter. And then this one says 2 monsters special summon from the extra deck. Like, just as long as you have 2 monsters that are special summoned from the extra deck, you would be able to get this card. But just as long as it also goes out to 4. Well, Boi Devin is pretty different. He is unaffected by monster effects, and what he can do is make your opponent's monster or any monster on the field lose 500 attack, and when this card goes in for an attack during, I believe, damage calculation, you'll steal your opponent's card and summon it to wherever this card points to. As you see, there are arrows to where you can, summon shit. And even better yet is this boy. He is unaffected by card effects. And your opponent just kind of sits there. They're just like looking really retarded. And your opponent would not be able to battle your other monsters. They would have to attack this. And also what this card does is once per battle, I believe during the damage calculation, if this card were to battle a monster, that monster, I think this card gains that monster's attack. And if this card is sent to the graveyard by your opponent's bullshittery, you get to shuffle 1 card from their field into the deck. Well, that is it. I hope you enjoyed. I am tired. I have to get up for work tomorrow. And you are lucky to have a cool friend like me, Devin. See you later.